Hello everyone, Norma Woodcock speaking to you from Perth in Western Australia. I'd like to speak into the third Sunday of Easter, Year C, and the theme, Jump In. John 21 verses 1 to 19, we have the story of Jesus on the shore of Tiberias. It's one of my favourite stories really because there are so many lessons to be learned from this story. And I can remember when I first read it being quite amazed and thinking maybe that there was perhaps a mistake. So naive I was, a mistake in the scripture that said that when Peter jumped into the water to go to Jesus on the shore, he put his cloak on. He had next to no clothes on, but he put his cloak on to get in the water. And I thought, why would you put your cloak on to get into the water? But if we can backtrack a little bit, Peter had denied Jesus 3 times, and he said to the disciples, so despondent after the crucifixion, let's go fishing. I want to go fishing. They said, we'll come with you. And so they went fishing and they caught nothing. And then this figure on the shore said, friends, have you caught anything? And they said, no. And the person on the shore, who was Jesus, said, put your net starboard and you will catch fish. And they caught so many fish. And the story goes on that John, the beloved disciple, recognized Jesus and said, it's the Lord. And with that, Peter put his cloak on and jumped into the water to go to Jesus. And the moral of the story, and I now know that it was no mistake in the Bible, but theologically, as I have checked it out, he felt shame that he had denied Jesus 3 times, but he had the courage to go to Jesus. And that's the moral of the story today, whether it's serious sin, whether it's venial sins, whether you've griped at your husband or griped at your wife, or whether you've done something that has been really, in your considered opinion, really very serious, put on your cloak and go to Jesus. Cover your shame and go to Jesus. What people do so many times is they turn away from God. They turn away from Jesus, thinking he can't possibly forgive me, he can't possibly have me. But can I say, with Jesus, there's always another chance. God always gives us another chance. I read this little piece. It was said of Stalin that if you made one mistake, it was like mishandling a detonator. It was the last one you made. It's not like that with God, because one of the greatest attributes of God is his mercy. His mercy lasts from generation to generation, from age to age, from morning till evening. And so I guess, once again, as we hear, what is the scripture saying to us? And I think I'm speaking to people right now. You are labouring over past sin, and I'm going back maybe a long, long time. But because of that, you won't let yourself get close to God. You won't let yourself get close to Jesus. You won't allow yourself to pray deeply and intimately. Let today be a watershed in your life. Let today be that changing moment where you go, you know what, I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm putting my cloak on, and I'm actually going to go and I'm going to say, your mercy, I need your mercy and I need your love. Instantly it will be there for you, I promise. My life has not been sin-free. You know my story in my difficult marriage, and when my little baby died, I ended up having an affair. And yes, I have sorrow. Sorrow rests on the mercy of God. Guilt cripples us. Do not let guilt cripple you. But yes, sorrow for what we have done, but turning into God's amazing face of love and allowing him to reach out. So what did Jesus do? Peter went ashore with his cloak around him. And Jesus, after giving them breakfast, he was cooking fish, he was cooking bread, he took Peter aside. And it was a moment of deep oneness and deep reconciliation and deep healing when Jesus said to him, Peter, how much do you love me? And Peter said, I love you, Lord. 3 times Jesus asked him, and Jesus said, feed my sheep and feed my lambs. And so I think out of my sinfulness, out of my turning and resting on the mercy of God, through God's grace and power, maybe I've been able to help a few little sheep and a few little lambs. You can too. Your life is not over. Somebody I believe is really watching me now, and you've never heard anything like this before. Somehow you stumbled across this video, and I'm saying right now, make a decision to turn back to him with your whole heart, and instantly he receives you. God bless you all, and may you enjoy this week, and I look forward to meeting you again next week. Thank you.